Pencil, give me your go-to spaghetti bolognese recipe.
My go-to spaghetti bolognese recipe is the Woolworths pre-packed spaghetti bolognese.
No, no, no. Last time you said you make a mad spag bol.
Oh
Walk me
wait, I
through
just gave away my secret. Sorry.
it. Always makes it for you.
Shh! Don't tell my wife. She doesn't need to know.
Okay, but the listeners need to know. Is that your secret? That can't be a secret.
No, legit. Yeah, I literally buy the Woolworths pre bolognese, where it's supposedly just add pasta, well heat and add pasta, and then I'll add a you get like a small punnets of cherry tomatoes,
Mm-hmm.
chop them up. I don't go all bougie 5-star or 3 Michelin star de-skinning my tomatoes. I just sort of chop them up.
Wait, what? Yeah, I was going to say, who does that?
Yeah, no one unless you're in a 5-star restaurant. No, three Michelin star restaurant, 5-star hotel. But yeah, no one does it. But yeah, so I just throw that, onions, brown my mince, Woolworths, in spaghetti bolognese. How about you? What's your
So
go-to?
it's more of a quick meal. I tend to go for the bolognese sparse, tomato and chopped onion in a can, tomato puree, minced, mix it up with some garlic as well. Uh, Spaghetti. Now, I don't break the spaghetti. I just put it in the pot, slowly let it melt down. And typically that's how I get it done. So it's similar. I don't know how else you would make it. If
Okay,
not,
here's a hot topic.
yes,
When cooking your pasta,
yes.
do you add some kind of fat to it, like butter or a little bit of olive oil to the pot?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah.
Even though I know it doesn't mix with water, but yes, I do.
So, but do you know the idea behind it?
No, I have no idea. I just know that people do it, so that's why I do it.
Okay,
I
so
just add a splash and I add salt.
there's two trains of thought. Okay, no, your water must be salty like the ocean, like salt
Yes.
that bad boy. So there's two trains of thought with this, with the butter or the olive oil. One, but like you say, it doesn't really spread properly. So the one myth is that it helps with the evaporation,
Oh, okay.
but I think you got to put a shit ton of oil for that to work. Otherwise, it all just kind of clumps in the middle, and then. But the
Yeah.
other one is if you put it in when you put it in early, is it stops your pasta from clumping. So as it's like you say, you break it in half, you put it, it's all sticking up. As it drops down, it's getting
Yes.
coated in the oil, not
Yes.
clumping. That's at least
Oh,
the wives' tales on why
okay.
people do that.
Okay. I
And then
just know
something
that
new.
when it boils over, it ruins the stove.
Yeah. Spend the next
Um,
10 minutes scrubbing.
yeah. Speaking of scrubbing, the Monaco F1 Grand Prix just finished last weekend.
And it should be
Hot
scrubbed.
topic. A hot topic. A lot of people talking about it. Today, I'd like to bring to the table a possible fix for the Grand Prix. But first, I want to get your take on last week's Grand Prix, the outcome, overall thoughts, and any takeaways from it.
I think it was hilarious that teams got angry at other teams for using team-focused strategies. I mean, what the hell's the point of the sport then?
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work. And I think, who was it? Was it the Williams team were a great example of this? Holding
Williams
up the
and
pack for each other.
RBV, was it? VCOP.
Yeah, oh, baby Red Bull. Whatever. They're the baby Red Bull. But the Williams one was a nice one where I think Sainz did it for Albon. And then Albon returned the favor and did it for Sainz. I think that's hilarious that a track can enable one driver to just slow the whole pack and let his teammate ride off into the sunset. Just
Yeah.
cruise away.
Yeah.
But
Well, there's literally
yeah,
nowhere to overtake. So,
no,
um,
it's
yeah.
horrible.
Okay, so your takeaway is that last week was horrible.
And that teamwork makes the dream work.
Okay. A lot of people have been upset with the Monaco Grand Prix because it's very small and the cars are very big, and um, it's almost impossible to overtake. There's one overtaking spot, and you'd have to be going. Apparently, you'd have to be at least 3 seconds a lap faster than the person in front of you in order to overtake in in Monaco, which you can't. Max even said it'd be hard to overtake an F2 car, like F1 versus F2.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, we're going to get into a discussion on how to fix it. I think you can't get rid of it. A lot of people are saying get rid of it, but you can't. It's been the staple of Formula One since its birth. You have to have it there. The amount of money that is floating around there. So not just for Monaco itself, but for the brands, people advertising there. They're never going to remove it because they make too much money.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the ticket prices are, but I know that you probably need a yacht in order to go.
And even in the yacht ticket prices are flipping astronomical.
Yeah, I saw a lot of influencers on the yachts, and from their POV, you can't actually see any of the race. You basically watch it on TV in the yacht. Like you just see a little sliver of the track, and yeah, it's barely anything. Now, really quickly, it's talk about a fix. Now, a lot of people have been saying moving the track around, the chicane just before the swimming pool, the one that the talking point that really slows everything down. They're saying either remove that or move it further down, make that really tight corner, make that a little wider. I don't see anyone getting around there either. That doesn't. It's even if you make it, you completely move the road. It's no one's ever going to get around. I saw some crazy theories. People saying Monaco they should do 2 qualifyings and get points from the qualifying. So if you get pole, you get 25 points, as if you won the race. And then they do that, and then on Sunday they all race in go-karts. Like even F2, they get 40 go-karts on the track and they race. And it's not for points or anything, it's just for a spectacle. But
that would be hilarious.
It will be such good fun, but it's not going to happen because, like I said, there's too much money involved.
They raced Lego cars.
Yeah, but that was a sponsorship by Lego. So.
No, but yeah, so I've seen those. I can't remember who it was, but there's some official up there, or that also suggested. I think they're saying 2 changes. No, wasn't the chicane? It was a different corner, and then the main hairpin where he was going to bring the exit over, and then make the entrance wider and deeper around the back.
Yeah.
But like you say, I don't know how that's really going to help. You're going to be going too slowly if you try to take the outside line. So the only way you're going to overtake is by being Max and just absolutely bullying people, dive bombing them on the inside, and hoping that they get out your way. The chicane, the point of it is to make it slower so cars can catch each other and, create some action. You make it quicker, it doesn't matter because the lane's still too flippin' narrow.
Yeah, exactly.
You just hog the middle of the road and no one's going to be able to overtake you even if it's quicker. So
I do remember, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago, you could almost overtake around the outside there because the cars were a lot smaller.
I think it was more than 6 years ago. I saw comparisons of a 2007 car.
Yeah.
Where it's a full 60 centimeters shorter, and it was like either 30 or 40 centimeters narrower. I think those were the V10 era that I think 2007 was the V10s. Like, and then you could fit two cars comfortably side by side. It was still a boring
Yeah.
race, but I think it was even George Russell was having a go at a commentator saying, even he's saying how Monaco should be scrapped. He reckons only 5% of people there are there for the race. The other 95% are there because, like you say, it's more of a prestigious event.
Yeah.
It's a cash cow.
Oh, 100%.
Money is made when it comes to Monaco. Is anyone actually caring about the race? Not if you're on a yacht. You're worried about how good looking the waitress is and how many glasses of champagnes you're
Or
gonna be able to
how
have.
many selfies you can take for your brand that paid for you to be there. Right. So here's how you fix it. Now, I did hear this from someone who had the idea but then went off on a tangent, and I don't think they ever came back to it. In the X Games, they have, I think it's called Rallycross, right? Where there's 4 or 5, I think it's 4 or 5 rally cars,
6.
basically Ford Fiestas, racing around a track, and they have a Joker lap, which is a shortcut. Each driver gets to take it once per race, right? So you can be strategic about when you want to take it. Here's the Joker lap, okay, in Monaco. Exactly what George did is you cut the chicane. That's your Joker lap. You have one lap you're allowed to do that out of the 73. Now here's why it's so good. Off the start, everyone is backed up. If you're in second place, you can essentially just take your Joker lap on the first lap, be in front. The issue is, let's say it's Oscar in front and Max is right behind him. On the last lap, Max is going to cut. So do you take it, do you risk it, or do you hold yours back until you can take it when you have a better opportunity? And if you're in first place, in your opening lap, you're probably benefited from taking the Joker lap on your first lap because it can get you a lot further ahead while everyone's slowing down. It can get you maybe 3-4 seconds ahead of the person in second who's slowed down to take the chicane, right? The only issue is then you got to think, okay, well, but if there's a safety car, then he's going to catch up.
And then you've wasted it.
You've wasted it. Exactly. So it's like, when do you take it? Now, the guys at the back, I don't care when they take it. But the guys at the front, literally this last race, let's say Max was, I know he was in front, but let's say he was in fourth. All 4 of them were literally under a second from each other. So on the last lap, they all could have taken the Joker lap.
Yeah.
And so, like, it might have been better for Lando in Charles in second to take it on the lap before and try and get ahead so that Lando can't take it back on the last lap. I think just something as simple as that, as a Joker lap, and then you get a 30-second penalty if you take it on another lap. So if you kind of like George did
like
that.
a proper, you're coming last, but we'll let you finish.
Yeah.
Kind of idea.
But also like George was being held up behind Alex, right? During the race. He basically took the Joker lap. He went through. He just cut it. He's like, oh, he pushed me off. But he didn't push. There was no sort of pushing anyway. Or no, I think he said he moved under braking, which he definitely didn't. But yeah, George took it and he got ahead. And because Alex was slowing everyone, George was able to push and get that 30-second, or he was supposed to get a 30-second penalty, but he actually got a drive-through pit.
God. Yeah. Isn't that, did he just have to drive through, or was it a full 5-second stop and then?
No, it was just a drive-through. So because a pit stop is 20 seconds, so he pulls in, and then it's plus the pit stop, which makes generally like 23 seconds, 24 seconds.
Yeah.
So when he drives in at the speed limit, he just had to drive in and go all the way through and drive out. Which he lost. He didn't lose any time. He came out in the same position. So he kind of benefited from that. And I honestly think that could just something as simple as that, having a joker lap, it could change. So still keep the two pit stops, um, keep everything else the same. Uh, Still 73 laps, but then add in that and then see when do you take it. Because if you're in first place, you're probably going to want to take it on the first lap to get that lead. But if there's a safety car, you've wasted it. So if you're in second place, do you wait until the last lap? Because here's another point: is in go karting. I don't know if you've ever watched a go karting championship.
No.
So what they all do is they take qualifying really seriously, and then in go karting it's a rolling start all the time. So they'll start, and they have to keep a cart's length between the person in front of them until they cross the line. And what they'll do is this: they'll stay behind each other. They'll hug the person in front of them for pretty much the whole race until the last two laps. Then they'll overtake, because there's no points in them overtaking on the first lap because all the carts are the same. So you're just going to be fighting and ruining your tires. Yeah. So you just stay behind the guy the whole way, and then it's the second to last lap. Now I can go and I can push. And that's what happens at Monaco now with the Joker lap. You just add that in.
Yeah.
And I think I just solved Formula One.
Well, I agree. Joker laps are amazing. Those rallycross is phenomenal. I love it. Thoroughly enjoy watching the rallycross. I mean, it's also nicer because the cars can take a bit more of a beating. You know, they bump into each other.
Yeah.
It's a bit more rowdy. But I mean, the execution, like you say, when you take that Joker lap, matters so much. And it's not just about taking it; it's you got to take it well.
Yes.
Okay, skipping a chicane is pretty hard to stuff up. You just fucking go straight. I mean, fudging, go straight. But with the rallycross, obviously, because they've got a bit more of a turn and everything. I mean, I've seen clips where guys come from being in 4th, 5th place in a close race to winning because they took that Joker lap just perfectly, like you say, in the second to last lap, and it works out phenomenally. Or it takes you in the first lap trying to build the lead, stuffs up 2 corners, then what? But Joker lap is definitely a fun way to spice it up.
It doesn't even have to be just straight through the chicane. It can maybe be you go this way around, which has because I think if you go straight through, it's like a 20-second advantage or something because of how slow everyone has to go and build back up. And you can basically come out the tunnel and just floor it the whole way.
Jeez,
So maybe make a turn this way around where they do have to hit the brakes, but it's a definite advantage.
Yeah, maybe only a 10-second advantage, not a 20.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Because I can just imagine first lap, someone in 19th place is suddenly in second. They just don't lift off just the whole way.
Yeah, then obviously there have to be a whole bunch of regulations around that and clear demarcations of like a
split. You can't cross the line.
A split, yeah. Especially when you're rejoining from the normal corner, there has to be a definite, kind of like when you exit the pits, where you can't cross that line until a certain mark, at least on some tracks. But
they can do that. There's one tree in the way, just move that tree.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some.
Yeah. So look, anyone from the FIA watching this, subscribe first of all, and second, you're welcome to take on that advice. Brings me on to my next point. Is just the Spanish Grand Prix. When this is out, tomorrow will be the Spanish Grand Prix, and it is the last one being held at this track because they're moving it from Barcelona to Madrid to a street circuit. I was going to ask, what is your thoughts on street circuit, excuse me, versus an actual designated track.
I mean, obviously, designated track is a bit more thrilling. It's purpose-built surfaces. Street circuit, I mean, we hot off the presses of Monaco. Narrow, nasty, bumpy, just a mess. I mean, if the track is a bit wider and entertaining, I'm all for it, because I mean that's what we want. We want to see interesting racing,
Mm.
whether it's on a smooth, purpose-built racetrack or a slightly bumpy, interesting road circuit. But as long as it's overtaking, then I don't care where it is. As long as
Well,
it's
yeah,
overtaking.
no, you're right because um, so there's arguments for both. Street circuit, you have uh, the Las Vegas street circuit. That's quite good. Singapore is quite good. Street circuit. It's very narrow, but it's a good race. There's a lot of overtaking points.
Mm.
Then purpose built, you have Imola. That's usually a boring race. So it all depends on. I think the main thing is that it's wide enough in the corners
Yeah.
where they can overtake. I think so. If they have a street circuit, so what they not if they will have a street circuit in Madrid. Hopefully, it has big corners um, to make it interesting. Yeah. Otherwise, it might just be another Monaco, which is essentially just a wasted race. Like I don't like mm, Monaco in the grand scheme of things because you get pole. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
What's the point of having the race? I suppose you just do qualifying. But yeah, it was going to be interesting. The next one is 2027 South Africa. Now we have a beautiful track at Kyalami,
Mm.
but they want to build another street circuit in Cape Town, which I think we've mentioned before. But
Yeah.
for me, that one I do agree with because it's Cape Town, and because I do think Kyalami is too. Like, I think the track's too skinny.
Yeah.
Like you'd probably have to look it up because it's been a while since you last saw it. But I was looking into. I think the road is too skinny, and I don't see a lot of overtaking. There's not a lot of runoff as well. But because back then you didn't need that much runoff.
Yeah. People would
Now
just
you
die.
have
It was
to.
okay. Crash and burn, boys. Crash and burn.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but from a tourism standpoint, it makes sense to be in the Cape and Cape Town. Like, that's a no-brainer from that standpoint. Will it be an interesting track? Like you say, probably too skinny. Probably gonna be a bit. But Kalami design is a cool track. I can't remember the width of it because I know they still do a lot of like supercar level stuff. But yeah. But in saying all of this, I'd still love to go and watch a Monaco race at Monaco.
100%.
Like I still
Yeah.
want to do it 100%, but
Well, I mean,
not for racing.
can you imagine the scenes with Table Mountain in the back, Lewis Hamilton crossing the line? Let's be honest, it will probably be Oscar.
Oscar
But
Orlando.
it'll still look good.
Although Oscar is kind of running away with the points.
I don't know. I don't know because there's 3 points in it now
Oh yes,
since
I
last week.
haven't seen.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the points since this
and
weekend.
Max is 23 points away from Lando. So if Lando and Oscar crash and Max wins the next race, he goes into first place in the championship, which is actually insane that Red Bull's brought this back.
Well,
I hate to say it,
Max.
but yeah, Max has brought it back.
because
I hate
constructor
to say it, but he's
championship,
great.
Red Bull's in third.
Yes, yeah, behind Mercedes.
Yeah. So, ooh, interesting times.
Yeah.
To say the
And there's some
least.
good races to come, so it should be fun. But yeah, all this car talk has got me wondering, are cars a waste of money?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, explain.
They are bottomless pits that just swallow up all your money. So, context.
Yes.
Us plebs in South Africa live off second-hand cars. I mean, new cars cost the same as houses. Can't afford neither.
Yep.
So,
Well, that's the depreciation actually makes it worth it.
buying
Depreciation.
second-hand.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No, exactly. So, in saying that, so I bought an Audi Q5 a bit back. We're familiar with this.
Yes.
My
Yaku
brother
does remember.
Yaku does remember. Thank you, Yaku, for remembering and reminding us about this. And obviously, thoroughly love the car, enjoying it very much. Bought it on 150,000 Ks. I'm on 210 now over just a year. So it's putting on some miles, kilometers. Let's not confuse our poor American viewers. Uh, my brother thought, hey, like a car? Let me get one. Only thing is, I'm extremely patient. It took me a year to find this one good deal. I test
Okay.
drove 10, legit. I test drove 10 second-hand Audis at different dealers and all that. Till I found this one, which was good, felt good, drove good, good history.
What can I ask you? What is your routine when you don't like a car? Let's say you get out, you go for your test drive, you come back, it wasn't what you're looking for. What do you say?
I treat him, usually, if it's like something really bad, I'll be like, yeah, no, I'm not buying that, thanks. And give the keys back and I'll just walk off. We're like, thanks, cheers. Won't
Then
even
he tries to sell you something else.
won't even. I mean, the good salesmen do, or let me say the confident ones.
Mm.
The 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 ones that kind of rely on people just coming in and buying what they want and not asking questions. You can tell because as soon as you give them like, why is the gearbox shuddering? Why is this done? Oh no, it went through the mechanic. It no, it's been approved. And then you're like, no, no, it hasn't.
That's just
Cheers.
shady. That's just shady.
Shady. So that leads us to my brother. Uh, Poor child has the worst luck with cars. When he lived in the UK, bought a second-hand Skoda. A month later, exploded. Took it back. A dealership gave him full refund.
Okay.
The UK, everything's policed a bit stricter. When in South Africa, it's very flimsy. I mean, you
Very
can go into
flimsy.
We Buy Cars.
Very flimsy.
It's very flimsy.
Held together with duct tape. Yep, good to go.
So that's exactly what happened to my brother. He found an Audi, a bit cheaper than my one, but we just thought, okay, it's the manual. The automatics do go for a bit more than the manuals. It was like 20,000 less than mine. I got mine for 195. He got it for 160 something. So like, okay, now, it looks good on the outside. The first warning should have been that it had aftermarket Audi stickers on the back doors. Like those certain Boyd Racer.
Oh, yes.
Like, everyone must know I have an Audi, even though there's a big badge on the front. That should have been the red flag. Second red flag was he bought it from a dude that went to the school he teaches at, but like a while ago. Had a bunch of cars in his backyard, selling them. But he was actually working for a dealership on Umgeni Road. A very dodgy, well known for doing bad deals and rewinding the kilometers and dodgy stuff.
On Umgani Road. I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, there's
Is
a
it with the
couple.
grey fence? Or is
Just
it the
past
one
the
with the pet
betting.
with the...
Just past the betting.
Yes.
There's the sports bar. Anyway.
Oh,
We
yes,
won't say
okay.
names because we're something somehow
There's no way
find
staying the same.
So yeah, actually, no, fair enough. Cars R Us was the name of the damn place, and from day one it was issues. Gave it to him, everything was wrong. So obviously they started saying, "Oh no, it's cleared, it's roadworthy, blah blah blah," all bullshit. Suspension was completely gone. All the uh, front suspension completely gone. All the ball joints, the oh hell, I'll literally spend all day talking about the parts.
CV joints,
Oh no, the CV joints are fine,
drive
all
shaft,
fine, drop shots fine.
spark plugs.
Control arms, the upper
Oh,
and
the
lower
control.
control arms, they're all gone, trashed. But they're like, no, no, the car's roadworthy. Immediately had to have that ordered. So he drove it for a week and was like, no, this is fucked. Took it back. They fixed all of that. Then about 3 months in, engine lights come on, all the stuff, all the stuff. But in SA, it's very strict. Anything happens, for you to be covered by the uh, Consumer Protection Act, you have to take the car straight back to the dealership you bought it from. You can't take it to Audi themselves. You can't take it to any RMI approved workshop. You have to take it straight back to the dealership. And then the dealership has to fix it. Or give you money back. Or give you a car of the same value. But that's the fine print that they don't tell you about. They just say, oh,
Okay.
don't worry, you're covered by Consumer Protection Act. Don't worry.
Yep.
Took it to a dealership, mechanic, to see what was wrong. Uh, so the dealership were like, no, you've taken it somewhere else. The Consumer Protection Act is null and void. Good luck.
Okay.
Take your turd. So then he takes it to Audi, because you think Audi, they know their cars, they can fix it. It sat for 4 months
How is he
doing
getting
nothing.
around?
Luckily, his girlfriend had a spare car.
Okay.
It's her late father's car that just is at the house. So luckily he had that. But also he lives on his work's premises. He lives on the
Okay.
school grounds. So it's not like he actually needs to drive to work. He walks. Well, actually
Okay.
he rides a bicycle. But yeah. So for 4 months the car sat at Audi. And now this is where I have trust issues now. Like, do I trust an agent? Because they have it and they can't figure out what's wrong. It had a low pressure a low pressure low oil pressure warning, and then they were like, "Oh no, it's the turbo." There was nothing wrong with the turbo. They sent it off to a third party because they don't fix them. Sent it off, came
They
back,
love blaming the turbos.
nothing wrong. Then they're like, "Oh, it's well." Then we had what the other shop told us from the very beginning: injectors. Then they sent the injectors off. Then they get them back. Oh no, the one injector still not is uh, still wrong because they didn't put new. They let the place refurbish them. Still not working. Send it back. Apparently get it fixed. So now 4 months elapses. He gets the car
Mhm.
back, full of mold. They didn't even bother to wipe down the interior upon giving it back. Literally
And
covered in mold.
the driver seats, steering wheel, everything.
Steering wheel, the back seats, the front seats, the dash,
And what do you
the
say?
the armrests. Well, he gave them a lip, and they were just like, ugh. But I think he was also so hurtful that the car had been there for 4 months. He wasn't gonna leave it there anymore. He was like, give it back. Like, gimme.
They couldn't even wash it. Well,
Yeah, like literally a wet lappy and wipe it down on the inside. But no, too much effort for Audi, a premium brand.
yeah.
2 weeks later, the car dies. Takes it back to Audi. Now all of a sudden, the cylinders don't have pressure. Blah blah blah. But 2 weeks ago, you did test it and you told us it was fine. Now what happened in 2 weeks? So then he literally said, "Nope, slap it together. I'm done. I don't want this thing anymore." Takes it to We Buy Cars, where everyone goes to dump their trash.
Yeah.
He got paid out, and now he's bought himself a Toyota Fortuner. And even
How
then,
much did he lose?
he
Percentage-wise?
actually only lost 10 grand. He had to pay out 10 grand
Okay.
to the bank because he had quite a big deposit that he put down.
Okay.
So he got half of what the car's worth. So that's the thing with We Buy
Well, and
Cars.
We Buy Cars will sell it for what it's actually worth. And
Yeah. So we went to a different dealership to look at a different car as well. And we're like, yeah, no, We Buy Cars offered us this much. They looked on their system. They looked at us and like, We Buy Cars offered you half book value. And we're
they
like,
usually do. They usually
yeah, like true lowball. And then they
I
don't touch
sold I
it.
sold my car to them. I was like, I hope I get 40 grand for it. They're like, we'll give you 42. I was like, take it. I was
But even
lowballing myself.
even on that, when I bought this Audi, uh, out of interest, we took my Mrs. Figo to We Buy Cars just to see what they would offer. They offered 27. The dealership I traded in at gave me 45. Trade in. I was like, what? Anyway, so now he buys the Fortuner after he spent probably about 40, 50k trying to get the Audi fixed. So now he's like,
What
fuck
year
it,
is the Fortune?
2013. So the same
Okay.
age as Audi, but it's a
Oh.
Toyota. But does he not buy it and the suspension's all shot? So he took it this morning to get roadworthy. Didn't pass. Needed new tires. And the suspension was all shot. So then he had to lay out another 26 today on top of having just bought the car to get roadworthy. So shame. Money pit. But wait, it gets worse.
Okay, but
Because then
hold
while
on.
we're there,
But by putting new stuff on the car is probably his best bet,
yeah.
rather
No,
than
it's
asking
it was-
another person to try and fix it.
No, exactly. And it was all still original suspension and everything. And I mean, look, it that is stuff that wears. It is stuff that goes. So that's normal. That's, no matter how
Yeah,
much
but
you look after it.
in 10 years, they probably abused it for that to happen.
Oh yeah,
It's a
yeah. No,
Toyota.
it's a Toyota, and the guy did go off roading a lot.
Oh, okay.
A lot of beach driving as well. A lot of Mozambique stuff. So it went through the ringer.
Okay.
But so it needed it. But now it's lovely sorted. But then while we're there, I thought, you know what? My car's old. It's on the original suspension. Maybe I should just get it checked. So then it turns out my control arms, upper and lower, need to be done. And my suspension. 33,000 rand.
Okay, but you're in the same boat as when he bought his car.
Yeah, but at least that stuff. So it's not that my car's not functioning or is going to die if I don't do that. But at the same time,
You put your
need to
kid
do it.
in the car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I
so
do
it
plan
needs
on
to be done.
keeping that car for a long time. So I need to do this sometime.
Okay, so you put it in new suspension.
No, I'm going to wait for my tax return in July.
Oh, okay.
Throw that all at it. And then
Okay.
still have to put in some. But, that's what I mean. So it's not like my car's not going to drive. So it can wait. It's not like
Yeah.
a turbo blew up and I can't drive. So I have to buy it today. So I was like, thank you for telling me this. I'll come back in July. But yeah, so
mental.
cars are a waste. I wish we had working public transport like in America.
Yeah. Just like America, you don't have a working government. So
Oh, well, I mean, exactly. But at least there you can take the subway, as dodgy as it is, cost nothing, and I can get across town wherever I need to be, or then a
yeah,
bus, and then. But then they say, nah.
yeah. But ending on a ending on a good note. We started uploading to TikTok again.
I
Uh,
noticed.
you noticed some notifications coming through. Mental, where can they find this TikTok?
It's all of you talking though.
Oh, I was the only one talking in the last episode. So.
You literally. But it was good though. It was very nice to hear about your trip to Dubai. Did I mention that if our company that I'm working at now, if we make targets
Mm.
by the end of the year, we all go to Thailand.
Oh wow.
Last year was actually Dubai, believe it or not. Funny enough. So last year the company went to Dubai. Not that our company, the South African piece of the company, existed, because our company is only not even a year old in South Africa. So it's like brand new, which has its challenges. But yeah, so maybe I'll get to finally go see a bit of Asia.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah,
Hit your targets.
fingers crossed.
Where can they find the latest uploads?
Just hold on, I gotta look up the TikTok again. It has been that long since I've been on the TikTok. Because I gotta give Yaku the right name because he's forgotten by now because we haven't posted in so long.
Well, he already follows us. So,
But I know, but he needs to search us because he's following too many things. Oh, now it's not giving it to me.
do you want
But
me to
it's
take
global
this one?
buggers underscore pod.
Yes.
So I do remember it. So that's us on the tiki toki that Trump tried to get rid of and backfired. But otherwise, Terrence, where they can find you?
They can find us here every Saturday morning. Make sure to like, subscribe, and we will see you next week. Hopefully, Jason will be back, but we can't rely on him for anything.
He was too busy eating.
Bye bye.
Bye.